The heart is where we describe love is coming from, inside of us. So it's appropriate to begin with Lily Kosowski's story as the Erie Heart Hero for 2018. We learned of Lily through Dan Kurchansky, who worked out alongside Lily's mom, Kim, at the Eastside Y. Here's a recap of Lily's story. At 6 months old, she was diagnosed with a ventricular septal defect, which is a hole in the wall separating two chambers of the heart. Lily led a normal and active life until the age of 5, when she began developing minor symptoms, which eventually progressed into rapid heartbeat, dizziness, and shortness of breath. Her doctors told the family her symptoms were not related to the hole, so Lily underwent various testing and was eventually prescribed beta blockers in an attempt to slow her heart rate. At the age of 8, Lily was a candidate to have a cutting-edge cardiac monitor implanted to gather data and diagnose her condition. After 6 months of data, she was diagnosed with tachycardia and underwent a cardiac ablation to repair the electrical signal in the heart's chambers which were firing abnormally. Throughout Lily's medical issues, she maintained her studies, activities like hockey, and most importantly, a positive attitude. She was excited to help educate the community and raise awareness about heart health. Heart health affects us all. It was our privilege to support the American Heart Association to continue to help people like Lily and her family. We were able to help the local Boy Scout Council for our area, the French Creek Council. We've heard of many great scouting experiences from our own Leaf Guard lead installer, J.D. McCrory. His family has been in scouting since the boys were cubs, and their oldest son, Jake, is on track now to become an Eagle Scout. From camping, fishing, the Pinewood Derby, and zipline runs, they're always doing some great things to build the qualities we all hope our children will gain. Scouting teaches youth to commit and practice 12 core values, some of which are citizenship, cooperation, compassion, courage, faith, positive attitude, resourcefulness, and respect and responsibility. Family involvement is an essential part of the program. Parents are encouraged to play an active role in making the most of the short time they have to impact the lives of their children. For each scout, the council spends about $270 to annually offer them the quality programming that scouting has. This includes offsetting costs of summer camp, training adult leaders, providing professional staff, maintaining Custalouga Town, and much more. We were happy to help contribute to this worthy cause. The next one is pretty tough because of how it affects children. The Cure Sanfilippo Foundation was the organization to receive our donation from March. The disease is referred to as childhood Alzheimer's. It affects 1 in 70,000 children by damaging the entire body, but most significantly the brain. We were connected with the Cure Sanfilippo Foundation by Liv Jordan's story, a small way for us to help raise awareness of this syndrome. The request for causes was shared with our installation crews at the annual Safety Training Day, and Liv's story was brought to us by Jason and Shani Kuzma. Shani did a photo shoot for the Jordan family and learned of Liv's fight at just 3 years old. A missing enzyme causes the buildup of cellular waste, which causes progressive dementia, extreme behavior and sleep disturbances with screams that affect the whole family, seizures, and early death in the teen years. Families are in a race against time for help and a cure. When we learned of Liv and childhood Alzheimer's, it was right before her family was moving to Oakland, California, to be part of a clinical trial in an attempt to stop the progression of the disease. We weren't sure if they needed help for the move or which way to assist. When we contacted the Jordans, they said please send the donation to the Cure Sanfilippo Foundation because that was who helped them connect with the trial and provided support along the way. The foundation continues to raise funds for additional research, treatments, and one day a cure for this terrible disease. In a follow-up conversation with Liv's grandma, we learned the treatment is showing progress and helping Liv to have many more good days. Hopefully, more breakthroughs in research will come for treatment and a cure. Kevin Chalinsky has a big heart for animals and nominated the Association for Needy and Neglected Animals, more commonly known as the Anna Shelter. Anna's mission revolves around getting as many pets to loving forever homes. The group is named for Anna, a Shih Tzu mix that was brought into the Erie police impound and was scheduled for euthanasia. Ruth Thompson, director of the Anna Shelter, spotted her and took her in. With a little time, effort, and expense, Anna was cleaned up and back on her way to good health. The organization was started to help other animals like Anna get a second chance. They put in the extra time and effort to get as many adoptable pets loving lifelong homes. To all the veterans and service personnel, we would like to say thank you for your service. This next organization has multiple points of contact within the companies gathered here tonight. We thank Merrick for making us aware of Boots on Ground, which is a nonprofit veterans outreach program developed in order to support veterans and their family members struggling with PTSD and military suicide. PTSD is post-traumatic stress disorder, which some people develop after experiencing or witnessing a life-threatening event, like combat, a natural disaster, car accident, or assault. PTSD makes you feel stressed and afraid after the danger is over. It affects your life and the people around you. Venus Azevedo Laboda, executive director and founder of Boots on Ground, shared how the pain of losing her brother led her to what is now her life's mission. It's a heart-wrenching story. When Philip Azevedo, a U.S. Navy combat corpsman and Bronze Star recipient, returned home from Afghanistan, Venus was so proud of him and his service that she told everyone. In her efforts to help Philip, she was saying all the wrong things, unaware that her words were actually triggering his PTSD. She interrupted an attempt Philip made to take his own life, but tragically a few days later, he made another attempt and she was unable to get to him because he had barricaded the door with furniture. Out of her family's grief, Venus educated herself in every way possible on PTSD. It was then that she decided to start the nonprofit Boots on Ground to help veterans and their families in hopes that no one else would have to suffer the loss of a family member like she did. It was an honor to give to Boots on Ground, which is the only veteran-driven outreach program in our area. 22 veterans commit suicide every day. 22 a day. These are vets from all wars that are still fighting PTSD. Be the one to thank a veteran for their service and be understanding of what they face returning to civilian life. Our next charity involved Lake Erie and Canada. Conrad Cobainey had a goal to swim across Lake Erie and was raising funds for the Children's Hospital of Pittsburgh, where he's a nurse in the ER. Our awareness campaign that month was in support of Conrad and his goal as he accomplished a personal challenge and altered his history. Conrad is from Harbor Creek and swam at Mercier's Prep in Indiana University, Pennsylvania. He had a series of goals after a few personal setbacks, from an ended relationship and a failed career move to Chicago. As he watched the Chicago skyline disappear in the mirror, he was feeling depressed. But instead of memorializing that day for pain, he made the choice to challenge himself to complete some educational goals and swim across the lake in order to reestablish the date. He not only completed all his goals, he broke the record with his swim. So now, you continue your story, or go make some goals and rewrite it. Chris Pistorio, branch manager of L&W Supply in Erie, had a very personal family experience with hospice last year when his grandparents received treatment from Hospice Buffalo. He came up with the idea to honor his grandparents in the process of raising funds for the Hospice of Metropolitan Erie in remembrance of them. We were pleased to honor them with Chris in support of Hospice of Metropolitan Erie this summer. Chris was shocked to learn that there are multiple organizations that are for profit under the name of Hospice. When Chris approached Hospice Erie with his idea to hold a golf outing to benefit them, they were brought to tears. Dan Kerchansky learned of Chris's effort and had the commercial services group participate in the golf tournament. To better understand Hospice, Chris shared how their care of his grandfather helped the whole family in those last days. His grandfather was a huge Duke Blue Devils basketball fan, and during his last days at home, it was conference championship time, and Grandpa's question was, "Did Duke win today?" Chris said with Hospice's care, his grandpa's pain was eased to allow him to be as comfortable as possible, but still there to interact with his family. Chris said it was an awesome feeling to be able to have that experience with people caring about them so much. Time to visit and share with loved ones is a precious thing that we too often take for granted. When our days on this earth are fading, it's a blessing to have care like that of Hospice of Metropolitan Erie. The Lupus Foundation of America was a suggestion that came from an employee whose family was affected by lupus when a sibling's life was cut short by the painful disease. The foundation is devoted to solving the mystery of lupus, one of the world's most unpredictable diseases, while caring for those who suffer from its impact. Lupus is called the great imitator because its symptoms are like so many other diseases: arthritis, blood disorders, diabetes, Lyme disease, and a number of others. It is a chronic autoimmune disease that can damage any part of the body. Our immune system cannot tell the difference between foreign invaders, and your body's healthy tissue, as a result, is attacked. This is what causes inflammation, pain, and damage to the body. There is much genetic research bringing new understanding, more in the last decade than the past 100 years. It was a good cause to support and contribute to. In October, we joined everyone raising awareness of breast cancer and supporting those affected by it. Cancer is a disease that has touched every family. Dan Kerchansky lost his mother and godmother, and Dominic Pichel lost his wife to this awful disease. Strings for a Cure was the charity selected for the month. Dan shared, "I learned so much from my mom and godmother, as they were never discouraged and always carried a smile during their fight. and Dominic expressed how Strings for a Cure blessed his family during Nikki's treatments. Nikki told him after he got home one day, "I received a gift card for gas. This woman named Elisa Guida, she's a breast cancer survivor who started a charity selling jewelry made from musicians' guitar strings. It's called Strings for a Cure." "That's an amazing concept," Dominic said. During the weeks, months, and years that followed, Strings gave several more gas cards, which really helped with driving to Pittsburgh 42 of 52 weeks in 2010 for Nikki's treatments. And in December of 2013, after they moved into a new home, there was a knock on the door one evening. It was a smiling group of people they had never met. They walked in with their arms filled with cookies and a handful of gift cards to buy their son presents for Christmas. Dominic said, "Those moments continue to resonate with me. We were honored to be able to help Strings continue their wonderful work providing education, comfort, financial assistance, and emotional support to breast cancer patients." The family meal is a huge part of the holidays for everyone. So, for Thanksgiving this year, we helped the Erie City Mission's Family Care Food Pantry. 15 years ago, they began to provide Thanksgiving meal giveaways to local families in need so they could enjoy a home-cooked meal for the holiday. It's free of charge to anyone in the city. Turkeys and bags are given out on the Monday before, with people lining up early and wrapping around the corner. They normally give away around 1,200 turkeys and fixings. We signed up to fill 200 bags of fixings. There was a bit of drama with paper bag blowouts, but a few extra hands and tape took care of things. It was great to help a bunch of families enjoy a meal at home for Thanksgiving. Thanks to all who helped share these posts and get some attention for these worthwhile causes and programs. Know that you are a big part of why we can do this. Throughout the year, we also supported a number of sports teams and after-school activities that your families are part of. We are proud to help these groups that are important to you.